So can we shift gears real quick?
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to say welcome to the Endgame podcast.
We still ain't do that.
We haven't welcomed you, but I want to thank you guys for just believing in this podcast and doing this because man, it's helping me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the say the thing about you become the, you know, you're not a good teacher until you're not a good student until you become the teacher. I think that's it. You're not a good student until you become the teacher.
Okay.
Because when you become the teacher, you got to prepare. You got to make sure that you're serving the people the way they need to be served. And man, I'm benefiting from benefiting from the podcast that I sit here and do with you guys.
Teach and
like.
Because you look at what's the name of that fund? LVMH. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They own
all these different brands.
Yo, if you really ever look what they own, it's insane.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
And they just got, I think they got $126 billion under asset management.
That's crazy.
Or their portfolio is worth 126. And all they doing is taking people money and buying cash flow.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. So they own half of Jay-Z's wine or champagne. They own half of Fendi, which is Rihanna's. Right. So when he say how many billionaires came from my house, he's building the numbers and selling to LVMH.
Wow.
He's selling a portion of it.
Wow.
Because they got the infrastructure, the warehousing, the printing, all that stuff. They figured that part out.
Right. To keep building billionaires. Keep making billionaires.
And so they build the brand up, sell a portion to LVMH.
Wow.
And now they sitting on the Billy because they don't hit the Billy mark until LVMH buys in at that price.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So now the valuation of the company goes to $1 billion or $2 billion, and now you're worth $1 billion.
Right.
Right. And so like that's what Kevin Hart just sold. Didn't he just sell some of his part of his company?
Oh, I don't know. He sold to them?
I don't know who he sold to, but it's the same thing. Or did LeBron sell part of his marketing? One of them, but they doing all the same.
Yeah.
They get you get them sales up. Somebody comes along, they buy the cash flow. Yeah. They buy in at X point. When I looked at the brands that LVMH owns, I was like,
kind of like the same thing we were just talking about with the Celsius.
It was you that put me on the game, and I've heard it before, but really firsthand for you to put me up on the game to be like, yo, this private equity stuff,
it's crazy.
Is the game.
That's it.
Like, and I know you talked, are we rolling?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so I know you talked about it when you came to my podcast, but most people don't understand what private equity is and what the play is.
Right.
And so,
this is crazy. I'm sorry. I was going through that. I was going through their brain.
You go through their it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Look up LVMH if you listen to this right now and see what they own.
Wow.
And so all right, break down. I'm gonna break it down because I don't know what kind of disclosure you under.
No, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good. Yeah. I'm good.
Break down what you could break down. Simplistic, what a private equity or PE fund is.
Yeah. So basically, a private equity fund is a fund made up of a bunch of different investors that have access to cash or access to credit. And simply what these companies do, they build portfolios that they package together with the expectation that they're going to sell at some point. And what they're buying is EBITDA.
Which is earning before interest, taxes, insurance, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll come back and tell you what the EBITDA is. But they're basic net income. We'll just break it down. They're buying net income, right? And so the cool thing about that is they're going to buy this net income based on what your EBITDA is, but then they create gains immediately because of
stripping out all the BS expenses.
Stripping out the BS, but they already have HR. They don't need
they get rid of
20
that
HR departments. They already have billing and finance. They don't need 18. So immediately they get a bump in the profitability of this new combined company.
Let's make up a real life example.
All right, real life example. So we have your real estate corporation, we have AWOL, and we have Greenwood logistic solutions. So PE will come in and say, hey, I want to buy Greenwood Logistic Solutions. Let's say my EBITDA, my net income is 1.2 million. And then it's okay, that's 1.2 million. I want to pay you 3 times, 4 times that 1.2 million. Let's call it $5 million. Okay, keep it simple. So here's 5 million that they borrowed from someone most of the time, that they borrowed from someone to give me 5 million. Yeah. I come in. Then they say, you know what? We want you to hang around because we want you to benefit from the back end. Right. So really, instead of giving me 5 million, they give me 3 million.
And say, invest the 2 million with us.
Invested 2 million with the conglomerate that we're about to build with these 3 different companies, right? So they come to you and do the exact same thing. And so the total value, we'll call it 15 million to keep the number simple, but they put out 9 million because they gave you 3, gave me 3, gave you 3, right? And so the total value is 15 million with the expectation.
So hold on a second, because I don't know if you missed this. So they promised all of us $5 million each for our company.
Right.
But they like you, they like me, they like Lynch. So they said, instead of giving you 5, be a gambler and hold back 2 million because we're about to flip this again.
Right. We're gonna flip it again.
So they put on the books 15, but they only spent 9.
They only spent 9. Yeah, they only spent 9. Right.
Because they gonna write that they gave you 5 because they gave you 5 because they actually putting it back in the joint.
Absolutely.
Right. But it's phantom.
Exactly. Absolutely.
It's fake money.
Absolutely. All of it. Now the cool thing about this is the interest on the loans. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. That's a write-off against the revenue.
Correct.
So I'm going to have an instant write-off to offset this revenue, not dollar for dollar, but it's a huge advantage.
Correct.
Automatically, right? That we all benefit from as well, because most of the time, these companies are LLCs, and that, the income and the expenses pass through to us. So we get and I got a story. Yeah. Because for 2 years in a row, I got negative K1s,
which was good for you.
Which it was, but we're going to talk about how the banking system looks at it and goes, well, you lost money in your business. No, this is how it was set up, and we'll talk about that. But so that's how that works. And so now we have this $15 million company that in 2 years we're gonna break everybody's back to increase sales year over year by 30%.
So let me stop for a second. So they pull up to me. They say, Max, your company's doing $1 million.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you 5 million.
Give you 5 million.
Right?
Yep.
But I'm only gonna give you 3 million because I want you to invest with us when we sell this on the other end. Right. Like, all right, cool. I'll take the 3 million. Right. You take the 3 million, and now you work for this big hedge fund in a sense. They say, hey, look, we need you to stick around for the next 1 to 2 years. Yeah. 2 years particularly. And they say, I need you to run this company better than you ever ran it before, and I'm going to show you how. Matter of fact, the 3 ladies you got in HR, fire them because we have our own HR company. That company vehicle you got? Yeah. Sell it because you don't longer need a company vehicle.
Or take over the payment yourself.
Or in fact,
we're going to get it off our books.
Yeah, take it off the books. And then the Christmas parties that you be throwing? Yeah. Scrap that.
Scrap the Christmas
Or matter of fact, we're going to do it on Zoom this year.
Right.
So we know. So now they take all of this money that you were spending, because that's how you thought the best was to run my company or your company. Right. And they immediately reduce the amount of expenses that the company has. Right. Therefore, if you're getting if you got 5 times X of your revenue, your EBITDA, and you cut out $100,000 Christmas party, you just created $500,000 in money.
Right, that's how it's
because that's what when they sell it again, they're selling at a multiple of whatever.
Valuation.
So from the moment,
real quick,
this is crazy.
So you're going to pick up right there from the moment. You remember that right there? Let's put this in perspective because some of them just jumped on. And what we're explaining now is the true meaning of the end game. This is where we are now in everything that we create. We are beginning with the end in mind to get valuations with multiple, yields multiple, 10, 5, whatever it is, so that we can cash in and get 2 and 3 rings. And it changes our perspective of how we do business instead of
tricking off
these super big expenses and stuff like that. Right. So we're gonna hustle.
You don't need that
hard.
G-Wagon because the G-Wagon is really, I know you only spent 200 on it, but they're giving you multiple of 5. So that's really $1 million G-Wagon.
Right. So we're gonna do this for 2. So what we're doing now is help. So this conversation is so valuable because we had these conversations individual with Rod, and it kind of, changed our paradigm, a little shift right here. And, we literally just got to do a couple things to get about 3 or 4 of whatever and get that valuation. And then we can get a couple rings like him. Right.
Yeah, period.
All right. So now if anybody's listening and gets that paradigm shift, if they can stick around for this entire podcast, right, their whole paradigm will actually change and they'll be on the Jay-Z, Rihanna, LeBron, Kevin Hart type
exactly
wave,
what we're
right?
trying to tell you.
Exactly.
Kim Kardashian.
Exactly what we're trying to tell
On the
you.
exact same path.
Right. But nobody can really get in those rooms that Kim K's in, that and they're having these conversations and they have teams like with people like you to actually make this happen. And when Jay-Z says, I got how many billionaires can come from my crib, is the person that you're giving the information to is actually becoming billionaires based off of them following the same
Period.
script, right?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at kind of right now. And it is going to sound like a lot, but just to put it in layman's terms, just pay attention and watch this joint 3-4 times if you have to.
Right.
We don't care nothing about the ratings, even though we jump, we climbing, right?
Yeah, right.
Even though we climbing, right? Super fast. But go ahead, big dog.
Before you start,
Yeah.
the information you're about to hear is coming from real, actual life experiences.
Yeah.
This is not regurgitated TikTok, YouTube, Instagram information. The information you're hearing comes from first-hand experience.
So it's not real from TikTokers?
This is real. You've really done this. We've really done
But
it.
you dealt with a real TikToker that had...
Let's catch that later because this is mad important right here, what you're about to say.
All right. So from the time they give us the money, right? They gave us the money.
All right, go ahead.
So the game is lower my expenses, increase my revenue.
Because it's not dollar for dollar.
Correct.
It's $1 for $5, $1 for $6, $1 for $7, $1 for $10, depending on
That
it.
net
Nobody
between my revenue and my expenses is 1 times 5, 6, whatever I think I can sell this company for.
Question.
Yeah, I need y'all to stay right there for a second because a lot of people out there don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's
So
not dollar for dollar.
No.
It's net
And what he means is, so
Thank you.
if I make $1,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to sell my company for 5 times
Yes.
the dollar. So when I spend $1, I really
You
spend
really spend
$5.
Yeah. That's the mentality we got to get
And if
right
I
here.
make $1, I really made $5.
Yeah. Okay.
That make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense to
So
me.
you're
I'm good.
saying you don't spend money to save 30% on $1 when you're making multiples of 5x the dollar.
Nah.
So TikTok's wrong.
Yeah.
Because
Can we go into the joint? We're going to have to go into what the streets talk about, man. What the streets talk about.
all right, so but how do you
come back to that? This dude is the walking like,
and this is real cool. So so typically your industry depends on what your multiple is.
Yeah.
So like tech.
Well, a couple things.
Okay, go ahead.
The industry, right? And then what's going on just in the world. Right.
where it's going, where it may be going.
Exactly. What's going on in the world. So like right now.
So if you're trending.
If you're trending, like right now, so tech normally has really, really high multiples, right? But if there's a whole lot of product out there, it's supply and demand, right? There's a whole lot of supply, right? And you don't have a whole lot of demand, the multiples aren't going to be that high, right? Like right now, trucking companies getting ridiculous multiples right now. Ridiculous multiples.
Logistic companies.
And when I say logistic companies, and when I say ridiculous, I'm talking about, double figures.
10, 12?
Yeah. Nice.
Crazy.
And then you just get bought up by the big guys?
You get bought up by the big guys.
We going after that. That's what we doing. That's what we going after.
Let's go get it. Let's go get it. So
now you know why he's in the trucking business.
Yeah. We tried to figure that out a couple episodes ago. We're like, why are you doing this shit? You know what I mean? But it's the end game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the end game. You know
I was whole time wondering why
he's going to come up with a fingerprint along the way. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's going to come up with the yeah. Well, I'm using that as just kind of like I'm just making an example.
All right, you got a solid 5 minutes. I'm not going to say nothing else.
Look.
No, please.
No.
Good.
Well, can we real quick?
You're asking questions that somebody else would ask. So let's go.
No, I think it's dope. So, I just want to say that after we had our conversation, basically about the gym and everything that I was doing, then it was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dumb my business down so that we can scale it faster, right? And then we popped up another location, and I've been trying to get my whole team on board so that we could actually like just beat the street, hustle hard for 2 years straight, so we can go ahead and pop up about 4 or 5 or whatever we can do in these 10 years. And then we get this multiple and we cash out and we do another one across the street, or we stick around with the company for a couple of years and double back.
A couple things about this conversation. One is I just happen to have a courtside view. Right? I can trip a referee.
Yeah, referee.
I just have exactly spiked out.
See how we did it at the same time? Yeah.
So that's number one, right? Because and I think Max referred to it as, so you used to hustle backwards, and the answer is yes, because we think we get a business, we open that business, and
about to have this for life.
We're going to have it for life. That's a part of our. Do we have culture? A part of our community. That's what I say. A part of our community is we get the business and we're going to keep it for life.
Yeah.
Stupid. Nah.
The Endgame about to change that whole perspective.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I get a business. I start that business. I grow that business, and then I sell that business. And then I do it all over.
Yeah, but we're watching it with Jay-Z's doing it all the time now. It's just like, he bought in this, or he owns this, he has this. Next thing you know, he's like,
right. Oh, so you say, so nobody's becoming a billionaire from zero by starting a company and just building the revenue till they get, close to $1 billion or $2 billion and saving the money. Yeah. No. They started, well, if you're talking about Jay-Z, they started with Rockaware. That was the first thing they sold.
Yeah. Exited, bought it back, exited again.
So the way to do it, because you're getting multiples. So I'm multiplying the value that I'm creating.
Right.
So again, back to that value.
Yeah. That's dope, because we got to create value.
So I'm multiplying that. And when I multiply it, then I sell it. And I don't care about, because, in our community will say, well, you're selling your legacy. I'm selling my legacy. Yeah. I'm like, no.
I think we talked about that a couple
podcasts ago. I can go create this tracking company. Yeah. And what happens if I sell it for 10, 12 times the revenue? That will be applied to the legacy. Yeah. I promise you. Right. And so that's the game.
Yeah. And so let me
say one more thing.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So another key part to this that I learned is people that are in the industry. I want you guys to go to LinkedIn and type in equity-backed CFO, equity-backed CEO, equity-backed chief marketing officer. There are people that make careers out of.
That's what I was just about to go ask you a question,
being top-level managers in these private equity-backed companies because they're there for the rise and sell. Yeah. And then they dip. Yeah. And they go do it again. And they go do it again. Yeah. So it's not let me get a job at GE and work there for 30 years.
Right. So let me just break this down.
Yeah.
So people that build businesses and sell them understand it's a game and an end game. There's people who have done this 4, 5, 6 times in their life. Yeah. And sometimes they don't even own it.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes they just understand the game. So let me break it down. So when you guys sold your part of your company and replayed the game with the bigger firm, the firm went out and bought a bunch of companies in the similar space.
Correct.
And created a brand. This is all, I'm reading this I read this online, and created a company called Health
Therapy Brands.
Yep. And so they bought up a bunch of software therapy type things. Yeah. And then they got the EBITDA down, got the EBITDA up, reduced the expenses.
Yep.
And then they went out and sold the company for $1.2 billion, I think it was. Yeah. I read this. Yeah. $1.2 billion. Yeah. And the crazy thing is KK Carr only bought majority stake.
Right.
They didn't even buy all of it.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Right. So that's the end of the end game. Yeah. And actually it's not, because there's a whole nother step, because KKR, they spent $1.2 billion. They want their money back. Mm-hmm. So now who can afford a $1.2 billion company that does
Berkshire Hathaway?
Maybe a Berkshire Hathaway. There's only 2 or 3 names.
Yeah.
So the next play is, let's take this joint public.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
So then we offer stock to the world and, to trust funds and to, other large institutions. And that's how we get our money back.
So how
and
you
that's
build
when the company goes to trillions.
Yeah. How
Like
you,
Apple.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Yeah.
How you build a legacy is been mistold to us. And it's cool. We're learning every day.
Right.
How you build a legacy now is you understand who wants the business that you're building,
Yeah. Right.
build it backwards,
Yeah.
build it correctly, and sell it.
Yeah.
And in your lifetime, you should be able to do this 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And every time you do it, you should get better because now people know that you have a stamp on you now.
Right.
Yes.
Right? You got a ring. You got this ring. That's why I call
That's
Super
what we
Bowl
call
rings.
it. Yeah. And
So-
now they start to understand what you was calling
Yeah.
Super
So the
Bowl
reason
rings a
why you
couple
have
episodes
Super Bowl
ago.
rings is because you have sold a company and then the company was a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
Not many people do that.
Right.
It's not publicly traded.
No, sorry, not KKR is not
Yeah.
publicly traded.
Not not the therapy brands. It's not. That's one of the companies. And just go to KK. Do a Google search on KKR and just look at their portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised at all the different
But
companies that are in
even
their portfolio.
all that, even all that. Look, the problem is that we're great reverse engineers, but we're reverse engineering too small.
Yeah.
So when we get with somebody that has more information, the end game gets farther away. So that now we got to reverse engineer from there, and then that's what makes us, step our game.
Do
up
you
and
know
shit
you
like that.
can exit your lawn care company?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a big company called USA Lawns, US Lawns, and they go around buying up accounts. And so that's what I'm saying. If you never know what the end game is to this,
Right,
you just
exactly.
keep playing and playing and playing. And at some
Absolutely.
point you gotta quit.
So this is gangster. This
Go
is
ahead.
gangster.
There you go.
This is how much, or how little, we knew. And it kind of borderlines like, because there's a moral component in this whole process, right?
Yeah, well,
Not with that much money on the table.
And we can talk about that too. But this is gangster. Like some of the companies knew they were about to be bought, right? Or they knew they were in play to be bought. So they, at one particular company, I know they had like 30 or 40 employees. They went down to 6 to do what? Increase the EBITDA,
reduce
get a
their
higher
expenses.
multiple,
Right.
Exactly on that, right? So
which is dope, which is gangster. Real
It's
gangster.
gangster, right.
Super gangster.
exactly.
But you fired 30 people.
But you fired 30 people.
Yeah.
Right. So then it's like,
They get right though. I mean, we figured out. You know what I mean? I got you on the.
so they'll land. They'll land. We got you.
Nah, I got you.
got you on the
Chill,
back
I
end.
got you.
I'll give you a severance package.
Yeah,
Right.
I got you.
A nice one.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
So, so then, you find yourself working for this. We got to have profitability right now.
Right now.
So what's interesting is, and there's a whole psychology with this thing, because you didn't build your company that way, right? And because I wasn't taught to build a company that way.
You built it to go get that
G
G-Wagon.
Exactly, that lifestyle, right?
Yeah. That's why they call it a lifestyle business.
Right.
That's why they call it a lifestyle business. So a lot of the, we did a whole bunch of stuff in communities that we served. Like we had a big footprint in Louisiana. So we did a lot of stuff in Louisiana. We gave away, hundreds of backpacks. Every year in Atlanta, we gave away 150 bikes. We did stuff like that. Oh, that was gone.
Yeah, because not that community outreach, which was donations and expenses to your company that were legally allowed to reduce the amount of tax expense you had or tax liability you have.
Right.
It was no longer that those 150 bikes. Let's just say those bikes were, just say you spent $100,000 on bikes or $10,000 on bikes. Right. That's really $50,000 on bikes when you buy that multiple.
Absolutely.
So going into the game, you had to say, wait, hold up, I can't do this no more.
Right. Well, we didn't.
You didn't stop. No, they stopped.
They stopped.
When they bought you, because they looked at your books and says, because what happens is you go through this due diligence process before they don't just walk up to your company and say, I'm going to buy you. Right. They have you open up your books, your bookkeepers, which we all need to get a bookkeeper. Absolutely. You all need to get the right accountant. Yeah, start off from the beginning. And now these days, you can get accountants and you can get bookkeepers for online services. Like they literally, it's like $200 a month, $100.
The best money we spent.
That
that was a part of it. But the absolute best money we spent was on an attorney that understood those deals and understood those contracts.
Well, understood the end game too.
That was what they specialized in was probably the end game.
Yeah, the end game.
Absolutely.
Because
your contract was.
But we do got to back up like 22 steps
100-page contract.
because we can't tell some people who are morally obligated to actually, give back to the community that they can't give back to the community. We need to start telling them how to get a foundation and how to get that money donated to them so they don't have to actually do it, right? Don't we need to go back to that?
You don't even have to say that. So you do whatever you want to do. Just understand the impact on you exiting the company.
Yeah.
Because we didn't stop. We knew what the impact was, but it was right around the time when we normally gave away 100 bikes.
Say you're conscious of that now, right? So just say you're conscious of it. You got this information like, damn, I want to give out bikes, but I can't give out bikes, or I want to do that now. Can we just at least help somebody give out bikes still?
Yeah, but the thing is, when he exited the company, he can give out the bikes.
You can. Absolutely. You give out a bike, right?
It's a little motherfucker in the hood right now. Needs some bike, man. You want a bike?
No, you got to do. But like he's saying, understand the impact of what you're doing. Still do what you want to do through the community.
Absolutely.
And I think that's an awesome thing. But we got to stop thinking so small.
Right.
Absolutely. And understanding. See, here's the thing. Here's the main thing. There's games that are being played that we don't know that are being played. And I'm not saying game in a negative way. I'm saying there's games that are being played that we don't understand plays. Yeah. Then there's games that we know being played, but we don't know the rules and why it does this or that.
Absolutely.
Everybody should be building their company to sell it. And the reason why is when you do it like that, that means somebody's always watching.
Everybody.
Right? You should never be ashamed to open up. And I had to learn this myself. Yeah. You should never be ashamed to open your books and show somebody your bookkeeping. Not anybody, but show up, an accountant or somebody want to buy your company. Because if you're running it clean, if you stay ready, you never got to get ready. Absolutely. And if you want to give away bikes, give away bikes.
And
but
man, that's the thing. Because again, I didn't have this knowledge.
I didn't have any. I still.
But now, because I used to. I mentored entrepreneurs all the time, right? But now the way I mentor now is totally different because the focus is totally different. Yeah. Because the focus is, and if they say I don't ever want to sell this, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Because the way I coach people is all about the end game. It's all about the end game. Yeah. Absolutely. And so what was where you the people that have made careers in private equity, selling businesses, right? Mm-hmm. They don't even own anything. Yeah. 7-8 figure net worths. Mm-hmm. Because I'm telling you, go look up private equity CEOs on LinkedIn.
Private equity CEOs.
Just type in private equity.
And they probably flipping this every 2 to 5 years, right?
Absolutely. And they leave and they come in on the upswing. They get that company to close and they leave with a bag. So now they go do it all over again.
So now you have this ring, you have this stamp. Yeah. And so now people look at you as somebody, one, that they want you on their board because you understand this exit, right? People that realize, oh crap, I do want to exit my business at some point in time because I can always just build another one. Because once you understand the fundamentals of business, you can do whatever. You can open up a gym, you can open up real estate, because you understand the whole
systems,
systems of it. Yeah. And the tax game is something that nobody truly understands in the sense of like most entrepreneurs. We understand it at a certain level. Right. But then there's people that are trained to do this every single day.
That's who you go get on the team. Mm-hmm. You got to have a rock solid CPA. You got to have a rock solid tax attorney and just a rock solid contract attorney. And that's a good start to your team. That's a great start to your team.
Yeah.
But you go get the. I mean, we pick up on information and we learn stuff along the way. But these people do it every single day.
Go get that person.
Very good. Yeah, they're very good. Person. They're expensive, but they're very good, and they'll save you a ton of money.
Yeah. I had a video the other day. I was so there's this guy, he runs this Instagram and TikTok page called American Income. Mm-hmm. And my friend Nazar was on it. They had I guess he goes in the street, different cities. Yeah. And he asks, people, how much money do you, what do you do? Yeah. How much money do you make? How much years of experience do you have? Mm-hmm. And so he was, he's from Charlotte, actually, Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. And Nazar has said, hey, this guy would like to interview you on his thing. And I was like, I'm busy. But I was like, Request Boutique is having a grand opening at this day. And I'm going to be in Charlotte that day.
Right. Tell him pull up.
So tell him to pull up. So we went there. We bought some shoes.
That's why I with you, though. Yeah. I fuck with you because, you know what I mean? Like,
I literally was like, yo, pull up. Yeah. And so my man had a grand opening for his new store. Me and my wife, we bought some shoes. Yeah. And then bought a few. Yeah.
You bought more than a little baby.
I did buy more than a little baby.
I know.
Yeah. Was it a little baby or a dub baby?
Yeah. Dub baby.
Dub baby.
No, little baby. Oh,
one of them. Somebody's baby.
Somebody.
Right. So
it's all good. I be knowing them.
So we went up there, not supported because we shopped there all the time.
Hold on.
No, I just had to.
Hold on.
Okay, man.
I be traumatized by certain stuff, man. Don't start that.
All right, no,
I
back up.
Like that again, because we rising on the charts.
Yeah, so we went out there, and Adam was there, and he asked me questions. How much you make? And I said, how much do I make?
No, how much do you pay yourself?
No, he said,
it's how much you make.
How much money you make a year? And I said, no, me personally, as in like, you talking about me? Because I am separate from my business. If my business make $10 million, that don't mean I make $10 million. Right?
But people don't get that.
Yeah, like I'm an employee of my business. It's two separate entities, and if it's not, because you're gonna be in trouble.
Quick to say you are your business. What do you mean you don't?
No, I'm not. I'm an employee of my business, right? Absolutely. And so I say, yo, I pay myself around $500,000 a year. Yeah. And the comments is crazy sometimes. People are like, first of all, black dude, ain't no way you make $500,000. People was like, and I said I only pay myself $500,000 because I said, dude, I have companies that do around 8+ figures.
You said it swift too, though. It was just like casual.
Yeah, I said, but I only pay myself. But I said it not in a conceited way. I said my companies make 8 figures, but I only pay myself $500,000. And people were just like, cap. Yeah. And I was like, why are we so conditioned to not believe that and in the grand scale, $500,000 ain't shit.
Right.
When it comes to the lifestyle that you've built, it's a discipline to be able to only pay yourself $500,000 when you make it this much. When you have access to way more money.
Yeah. Some people burn through the way more money.
Yeah, burn through the way more money. So at this point, I've been doing this for several years. I went and got all the toys, been to lunch. So at this point in my life, the $500,000 was strategic based upon the advice that was given to me by the professionals, because there's certain things that I need to spend money on in order for my future, right? Whether it's insurance products, whether it's tucking money away for in certain IRA accounts and stuff like that. So that number fit the bill that I needed to be able to pay myself to take advantage of it. Right. I don't go into the situation thinking, oh my goodness, I pay myself more money, I'm gonna have to pay more taxes. Right. Those are, anyways.
No, it's a lack mentality.
It's a poor person's mentality to think before you have the money, you're going to try to avoid paying taxes. Like that's not how it works.
No, it's not how it works.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's like I've heard people say they don't want to make they want a job and they tell you they don't want to make more than X amount because they don't want to mess up their SSI check. I'm going to pay you double than what you make with SSI, but I don't want to mess up.
They don't want to mess up that free money.
They don't want to mess up the free money.
No, and it's a big mentality, and people thinking backwards is like, yo, I don't want to have to pay. Yo, it's an honor to get, not an honor. You hate it, but it's a good problem to have that you have a high tax bill. That means you're a high earner. You did some things right in life. Some people never had that opportunity.
And there are ways to lower your tax bill.
Correct.
There are ways to lower it. It's not impossible to do.
But understand,
people do it all the time.
So there was I came in from Miami because my wife had just given away a $25,000 smile to a Nigerian lady. Dope. And so we came back from Miami tonight.
Oh, my shit a little yellow. I mean, y'all can give me some.
I got you. I got some T white stuff in the crib that I stole from the doctor's office.
I want to smile too.
So go ahead. So we came back from Miami. Nasser texts me and says, look at this video. So I look at the video and somebody was like, yo, this guy is capping. Matter of fact, play the video.
I only pay myself about $500,000 a year.
That's cap. And nobody who's a serious entrepreneur or business person is paying themselves that much and taking on that big of a tax liability. More than likely, he's an influencer and he has a course, a service, or a product that he wants to sell you on based on you aspiring to attain.
Okay. Usually I would never respond to this, but it seems like between the pandemic and TikTok, there's made a lot of tax professionals without the qualifications. But hear me out. I'm not going to sit online and debate how much money I make with strangers. That's between myself, my wife, and the IRS and my business partners. But here's what I will say. Thinking that you're going to paying yourself less money to avoid taxes is poor people mentality. Taxes are just the way of life. There's really not much you can do about it, but there are some things. I'm going to tell you a few. If you plan on building a house on 20 acres that costs over $1 million and you tell the IRS you only make $80,000 to $125,000, you're going to jail. Also, if you're an entrepreneur, there's several ways you can pay yourself. By W-2, which everyone should because you want to show some type of income. And another way is by distributions in your company. Now, in order to take full tax advantage of some of the great products out here in America, you need to be able to earn a certain amount of money. So if you're doing a W-2 way, You need to make a certain amount of money so that your employer can make the maximum contributions to your retirement account, right? Because it's based on a percentage of how much money you make. And then you also can make the maximum contributions to your retirement account. And I think this year is somewhere between $53,000, $54,000. Portion of it comes from your employer. Other portion comes from yourself. Another product that you could take advantage of is a bunch of tax-free insurance products. Here's what I mean by that. Some of these products require a lot of money up front. So if you're only making $80,000 to $120,000 a year, it ain't gonna cut it. Some of these policies require six-figure premiums in the beginning for the first few years. You'll figure it out when you get to that tax bracket. But there are products out there. So beyond that, be smart. Don't try to avoid taxes by listening to TikTokers. I know a lot of you were expecting me to respond in a negative way, but that's just not my style. And if your most popular video, is a negative one, you probably should rethink why you're on social media. I see that you have a nonprofit and you're raising money. Congratulations. What I would do is not say too much negative things online, because you never know who can help you in your business or your nonprofit. I have a foundation because it's self-funded by me and my family, meaning that we don't accept outside donations. But I see one of the things that you want to raise money for is so you can increase the video production. Well, in North Carolina, I own 2 studios. One of them is 5,000 square foot, has everything you may need in order to create those videos. So you're more than welcome to use it. Here's another tip for you guys. We've become so conditioned to disbelieve everything we see, so much that we don't believe anything we see, which keeps you in the same box that you're in now. There's nothing wrong with building a brand and making money online. Here's the main thing. As an entrepreneur that owns several businesses, 2 software companies, an airplane manufacturing company, and a flight school, I have personally taken my own money, no donations, and I've given away $140,000 of scholarships to Black and brown kids that want to aspire to be professional pilots. That's because I pay myself $500,000 a year, and part of that money can be written off on charity. And if you own the charity, then you can direct the money to go do what you want to do. It's raining now, so I'm going inside. But you get the point. Don't pay yourself less to avoid taxes. Pay yourself the right amount so you can make an impact. Yeah, by the way, I just donated to your nonprofit because it seems like a good cause.
All right, so now that you've seen the video, this person said, I was asinine and not a serious business person, and no way somebody pays themselves that type of money, right, and that I am trying to sell a course or something like that, right? Yeah. And so I looked at it that night and I was like, damn, I don't even know, who is this person? I have no idea. So I think that was a Saturday. That was a Saturday night. We got back late, midnight, because the flight got delayed by an hour. So Sunday I wake up, I go outside, I put the dog outside, I feed the dog, and I got my phone in my hand. I watched the video one more time. And then I click on her name, I look at him some up, and I started clicking on the links on the stuff. I was like, damn, this is actually like a person that has a following. Why would they say something about me?
Right. Because they believe that you were kept.
I just went out there and I started talking to the camera and I explained myself. I said, look, I'm not gonna argue about the money, how much money I made. That's stupid. Right. But here's what I will tell you. The advice you're giving out there is dumb.
Right.
And when you get to a certain point in life, you have to start paying yourself a certain amount of money in order to take advantage of or prepare yourself for the future.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Right? And I looked at this person, they have a nonprofit. And I said, look, I own 2 studios. There's a big building behind my house. You can't come to my house. That's not what I'm talking about. Right. But I have a 5,000 square foot studio downtown that, you know, my guy EA has his company in there, and you can go there and use anything you want because because they had a nonprofit. They have a nonprofit and they were raising money. And I said, one of the reasons they were raising money was to film better content. I said, yo, you can use all of this for free because it's a nonprofit, right? Right. EA can run it. We can write it off as a in-kind donation or whatever it is. Right. And then I donated $1,000 at the end of the video. I gave her $1,000. Right. So there was no malice in there, but it was kind of like crazy that somebody that would start with a negative perception. And it made me like thinking like, well, what else are they saying that's so wrong?
Little ego with $1,000 though. Little ego with the donation.
That was
little ego.
Yeah.
Little ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But the $1,000 was another way that I personally write off money.
Right.
And so I get to make
to a legitimate
charitable
nonprofit.
contributions. Now hear me out.
And write it off. Yeah.
If you are into local politics, right?
Yeah.
If you want to donate to a politician, it had come from your personal account.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you hold that thought? How is it ego if I'm doing this to help me with that? Why you say that? Why you think it's ego?
Ask him.
You said it was ego.
Because I know it was. Let him talk about it.
So
Because
how is it
he
ego?
gonna tell you why he couldn't sleep. Y'all ain't had that conversation. So let him tell you.
Yeah.
I ain't.
So the night before, I couldn't get a good night's sleep because I'm thinking like, why does somebody do this?
Right.
Like
why did they come after you like that?
Why does somebody because I never really come out there. I don't respond to negative stuff. People say negative stuff all the time, but most of the time it's somebody hiding behind a fake account with no profile picture.
Right.
And this person wasn't that. This person is like somebody in the community that has followers, that has a face. You know what I'm saying? They have a responsibility, and I guess they felt like they was doing that, but I guess they never Googled me. Mm-hmm. Right? They never see that I gave a park. Right. I built a park for a community down here. Right. They never see that I donated X. They never see that I gave $50,000 to a school to upgrade before school started for the library and stuff like that. Right. They never seen that. If you type my name in, there's news articles out there. Right. Like this is not a cap game.
Right.
And when you call somebody cap, you calling them a liar.
Very much. Right.
That's one of the worst things you can call somebody.
Absolutely.
So can we just talk about that for a second? Like, because was that the most malicious?
No, it wasn't at all. It wasn't because it was a person that has a responsibility. They're an influencer. Influencer is not a light thing. I understand that me being an influencer is not light.
Right.
I can guide people the wrong way or the right way.
Yeah,
my track record is I've never if I was malicious and only cared about dollars, I'd make a lot more money.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very responsible with my influence.
So this was almost like
is influence positive or negative?
It could be either one.
Yeah, you can use it for good or evil.
I was just going back to that bullshit we did the other day with business, because influence is a business now. Remember we did that.
Influence has always been a business, though.
Remember we said was business positive or negative? I told you it was neutral, and then y'all said that there's no way it can be neutral. And I just asked you the same thing, but about influence, when influence has always been a business. But go ahead, keep going. There you go.
But influence, we can pick this up later.
Yeah, I want you to go.
Influence used to be only corporations. Now it's people.
Absolutely. Yeah. People been corporations though.
So you feel like it was so in the influencer community, right? So like doctors never sue doctors, so they never testify against other doctors because they're in the community. Attorneys, they never testify against other attorneys because they're part of the community. So do you feel like one of your own relative to that of an influencer turned on you?
I just seen a sister from North Carolina that has an influence that clearly, if she had to know, she had to at least look my name up.
Right. She kept saying this guy, like she didn't know you.
But anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, it doesn't matter if she does or not. But I just felt like if it was just a person in a basement, but I was like, why is somebody like the person's known, you know what I mean? She's not a small person. Right. And I'm like, why would she, because bro, I really be out here helping people. Oh, yeah. And she could have been one of the things that I helped.
I told you that's why I mess with you. I told you that's why I
really could have been. It really could have been somebody that I helped. Right. But greater than that thing and that person is, why are we so conditioned online to believe that everything is a lie? Because what happens is, if I can't pay myself $500,000 a year with 8 figures in revenue, right? Why is it? Why is that a cap? So if you can't believe that it's possible for me to do it, then you damn sure don't believe it's possible for you to ever get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of times, things are, that's the easiest thing for the brain to go to is cap, because they don't understand it and can't experience it, or don't believe they can experience it. Yeah. She probably could, but I don't think she believes that she could make $500,000. If she did, then I would be like she should be applauding you and saying, man, let me figure out how he does that. Let me do that. But just to, maybe that's part of her business.
Well, the thing is she actually has a cap on her information.
Yeah.
So her knowledge level actually has a cap, which doesn't allow her to exceed what's actually happening in this man's life.
It's the law of the lid.
Yeah,
so your influence is only going to be as great as the knowledge that you have.
She tried to say, she said I was trying to show a perceived value. Perceived is not real. Right. I don't, that part is I don't matter about that, but it's like, I didn't get that whole thing. That thing was like,
where are you right now though? Is because you lost sleep and
I'm good.
Okay. Well, the thing is
great
that
about
she tried to put him in a box with other influencers who are really not who they say they are.
Right.
And that's the thing that kind of convicted him. And it was, okay, do I respond to someone who is?
And that's the hard thing about what. We say we're real, we're raw, and we're relatable.
Yeah.
And basically we've given away the game. And that's the hard part about this, because you're going to always be side-eyed. Like what you really want.
It just, we're not going to please everybody, and we're not going to speak to everybody, but the people that hear our voices and that, kind of get sparked by our word are that's just the people that, we're supposed to.
And it takes a simple Google search.
Right. Or it takes, something to resonate with you and say, what, that sounds like some good information that I can actually agree with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You said a belief is information.
But I think that thought, back to the main reason why I wanted to even bring it up, the thought process of us thinking everything is not real or not achievable or cap really portrays a lot of how we think about things. Yeah. Bro, if you look at paying yourself $500,000 a year, you're not even paying yourself $100,000 a month. I know people are gonna say $100,000 a month, bro. Yeah. If you want to prepare yourself for the future and you're working your butt off, there's products and things you have to do.
Yes, you have
and
to
I didn't know these things until I got to a level.
It ain't even about the level. It could be about the level, but is this. If you're in a business, we're taught, the dumb shit, or we think we gotta not pay taxes, right? But say you want to buy something next year, and you ain't made no money because you've been avoiding paying taxes you actually not going to be in position to buy that next year.
No,
so
especially if you
it's
try to
that
get a
small.
loan.
It don't even have to get to that big. Like, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing was, you said something a couple weeks ago where you actually gave us a definition of belief, and you simply said, when you information that you've agreed with is the definition of belief.
Right.
Like, period. So she did not agree with his information, and it became a limiting belief. Therefore, we had people on two sides of the spectrum. One person who thought it was cap, and one person who it actually is his life. So it was real life for one person, and was fake for another person, because you have information that you believe because you live it, which experience is the best thing.
Here's another word I despise in our community.
What is it?
Flexing.
Flexing, yeah. So cap and flexing,
I hate those words because if I regularly drive a Lamborghini as my car, and I don't, but I'm just saying, if that's my daily driver and I talk to you in my Lamborghini, yes, there's some people that use it strictly for marketing.
Yeah.
If I'm in a video and my house is in the background, if you see my pool, if you see me at the basketball court, am I flexing, or if I'm just...
You just driving your car.
I'm just...
It's 100% mindset, man. It's 100% mindset.
We got to fix that joint.
Because, the word impress, right? You can use it one way. You can say, hey, I'm here to impress you.
Right.
Or you can say, hey, I'm here to impress upon you that you can do the same thing.
Absolutely.
And my business partner drove a Lamborghini. And one of the nicest guys on the planet. And it's like, he drove it to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, so you can't drive your Lamborghini?
I seen him the other day at the restaurant. I seen him the other day in Charlotte. Yeah,
right. So you can't drive your Lamborghini because you're flexing?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Now, you got some people who attach these things to themselves as their identity. So, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation.
But it's only
you do have people who actually like rent these things, and they
pretend that they own them.
They shoot a video that they put a paid ad behind, and then they try to sell you a course or something like that.
Yeah, that's flexing.
That's flexing. But
because that's not really
so what I was saying was, she was trying to put you in a box with people like that. And you know what I mean, to know you is to love.
And then the big thing I want people to take out from it is, you and your company are two separate entities. Don't ever think of them as the same. You might be a member / manager of that joint, as you can direct where the funds go or don't go, but you are not the company.
Right.
You have to remember that. One of the words that will get you in trouble, and if you ever hear they say it to you, is called co-mingling. You don't ever want your name to be associated with co-mingling, or you will be co-mingling with somebody on a bunk bed.
Yeah.
Right? Straight
or
up.
Embezzlement. So can we shift gears real quick?
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to say welcome to the Endgame podcast.
We still ain't do that.
We haven't welcomed you, but I want to thank you guys for just believing in this podcast and doing this because, man, it's helping me. You know, what's the say the thing about you become you're not a good teacher until you're not a good student until you become the teacher. I think that's it. You're not a good student until you become the teacher.
Okay.
Because when you become the teacher, you got to prepare. You got to make sure that you're serving the people the way they need to be served. And man, I'm benefiting from. Benefiting from the podcast that I sit here and do with you guys.
Teach and
like, give me something. Like the whole thing about Max was talking about just thinking bigger.
Yeah.
And we talked about just going and not waiting for perfection. So one of the things in my trucking company is adding different layers of the trucking company. And so I got the transportation. Yeah, exactly. So I have the transportation part down, and there's some wrinkles that we're trying to iron out. And I said I wasn't going to go to the next part of the plan until I get these wrinkles ironed out. I threw that out the window. So we getting. So I talked to some folks today, and it's like, okay, we're getting ready to launch this piece with these wrinkles. And that came from the conversations that we were having. So I just want to thank you guys. And because we are real and because we are raw and relatable, I want us to dig into and give some real life examples with the time that we have left about how we started our companies. Because to say I started a flight school and just to kind of breeze through that and to say, you got a daggone fitness empire, you're building a fitness empire, you got brick and mortar and you got the online joint. And I say I started a trucking company. That's not regular, right? In our community. So I want us to talk about
say you got Super Bowl rings.
Right. So I want us to talk about
talk about football. Go ahead.
So Max, the flight school.
Yeah.
And so this isn't so that you will go build or open up a flight school or go start a trucking company or try to start a fitness empire, but you're going to get some nuggets from these examples that can help you go start whatever it is you want to go start, right? So when you decided to start a flight school, what was step one? How did you get to, I'm going to start a flight school?
So I own several companies, and what I'll do is I try to sum up why I started each one of them in a very short amount of time. Okay. So my real estate company is because my back was against the wall and I needed a way to go out and make money investing in real estate without the money.
Okay.
And that was one of the ways.
Gotcha.
And then I opened up while I was doing the real estate company, finding people's data and be able to call people was so important that if you found a house, you needed to have the data. So with my previous experience as a bondsman, I knew how to skip trace people. So I used the same software that I had in that experience and created a new software and be able to provide it just to real estate investors.
So was that a big problem?
It was a huge problem because it was very expensive. Okay. So it was like between $2 and $3 a pop. I came in the industry and I was selling it for 43 cents because I got it for half a penny.
Gotcha.
Right. And so that made me my first straight millionaire thing was that.
Gotcha.
Right. Printed money in my sleep. There was no effort. Right. And then we created, once I started doing the business, I realized I needed a nice way to dial and call people and create a CRM. So we created another software company backed up by data, a customer relationship management tool. Okay. Right. And so we created that and then we used it.
Why did you need that again?
Because it solved the problem that we had in our own business.
Boom. 3 for 3, you solve 3 problems
in one real estate. These are just verticals.
No. What I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is, each one of these things that you created and kind of became super big in, you had 3 problems.
Yeah,
and so if you please pick up on this, right? So you're in a business right now. You have a business, and people are like, man, I want to do something else. I want to look inside the industry, the business that you're in for other problems that you can solve.
That's it.
Hold on. Before even that, right now, you're watching this and you have a problem. You have a problem right now. And guess what? Your exit, your end game, your next level, look, that big thing that you've been looking for, waiting for, it's all wrapped up in that problem that you got right now. Right. So you could actually, but you can go to the next 1, 2, 3, or 4 if you want to. Yeah. But you were trending on problem solving.
Within the same industry.
Those 3 companies produced 9 figures. That's right? 6, 7. Is that 8 figures? 10 million plus.
Okay.
Right, whatever, how many figures that is. So those companies created 8 figures. Yeah, 8 figures. Those 3 companies started generating 8 figures a year. And then I took the personal brand serious, right? And then that turned into a few more $1 million a year.
Right.
And then when I got the money, I wanted to buy a plane. So I was doing all this research how to buy a plane. I ended up finding a plane. It was manufactured in South Africa. I flew my whole team to South Africa, saw their operations. I was like, do you guys sell in the States? They was like, oh, we sold a few. I was like, this is a dope plane. I said, how about I become a manufacturer in America for you guys on the East Coast? I was like, bet. I rented a $27,000 27,000 square feet facility. And now we build the planes. First year we sold well over $1 million worth of planes.
Wow.
Right? And so.
That's not the first time you got into planes.
No.
How you get into planes?
I used to work for I didn't fly in the military, but I used to work for Lieutenant Colonel John Klatt. He was a stunt pilot. So I used to help him do some things. Wow. But here's another thing. So you go from flights from flight building. I know this is long, but then I started reading as I started to become more and more a pilot. I started to read that there was a crazy shortage that was going to last until 2036, and that if we can produce enough pilots, we can do this. So I started with the end in mind. I started studying backwards of how can we create this pipeline to the airlines and solve this problem that everybody's having. And then I looked at the revenues and I seen this. I said, well, okay, cool. Boom. Let's go buy 3 planes. Let's get these planes in here. Let's get these students running.
Right.
2 more planes are on order. And then we about to order another plane. So you talk 6 students. So if we push through 120 students a year, it'll be a $10.5 million revenue business that operates the cost of that, I won't say, but you'll have a bunch of profit, right? And if you can do that, then I open up another location and another location, bundle it up, exit.
Now,
and so that's where I am personally now with that,
which is higher than 250.
250 million?
Yeah. That number that you was talking about. Now you're like,
Right.
See that?
But I got partners though. I got partners.
But a couple episodes ago, you wanted to, when I said that ain't your number, you just want to see it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But so even if I sell the company for 300 million, I'm not going to get 300 million because I got partners.
You got partners and stuff like that. I know, but you're going to come up with another idea. Like I said a few episodes ago. Anyway, the reason why I be saying like some of these questions like that is because like all the other is like super dope, but somebody out there right now is helping Colonel such and such. And that is the seed that actually brings you to these other opportunities. So some stuff was planted in you then, stuff was planted in you in the military, and all on this journey, things were accumulating. But you became somebody along the way with the real estate, that mind was changing, you're solving problems, and then seeds are coming, and you're truly a farmer. You're truly somebody who cultivates things, like you truly understand agriculture, right? And then all of a sudden you get to this point and you're reading articles and everything starts to click and it comes in place. So what I'm doing is, I understand, what we got going on here and all that stuff, but just as far as like a different element, like I'm trying to maybe help somebody who is maybe not necessarily in the part where they have the money to do this or that and a third, where they could be just right there in a part where they're actually serving somebody right now. And they might be tired of serving somebody. They might be thinking about not doing that no more and switching lanes or something like that, and how something like this could actually come from that, series or season in their life. And I just want them to seek solace in the fact of whatever it is that they're going through right now, because there's a silver lining in it, which could be, how many years ago was that when you were serving Colonel such and such?
6, 7.
Did you get paid when you were working for the Colonel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you work for free?
That was a cool ass job.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I had a conversation with someone about actually working for free. right? Not so much work for free to get zero wages, but to like work with like if I think the person I use.
If you told me right now I can work for Tyler Perry for free, I'll go there and I will clean the bathrooms.
You won't feel like you're being taken advantage of?
Because when I leave that joint, he gonna have to sell me them 300 acres.
Yeah.
Why you say that? Why?
Because
what are you gonna leave with?
I'm gonna leave with the knowledge of all the experiences I've had in my life, and then I add his experiences, and I get to witness stuff that he's doing for firsthand. Yeah, I'm gonna create. Me and him. He gonna have to buy me out.
So Tyler said, "Come work for me for free."
I'm there. I'm
for
moving.
6 months.
I'm gone. What? 6 months ain't nothing.
Gotcha.
Yo, that's what I be trying to other people understand. A sacrifice for 6 months ain't nothing.
Right. Yeah.
2 years ain't nothing.
Right.
Because the multiple that happens after that, like. The reality is in your life, you have about 5 to 6 years of this grind time that will set you up forever. Yeah. The reality is we can't stop partying. We can't stop enjoying ourselves. Yeah. And that's why I posted that thing. Why is happy so damn important? Yeah. Right? Because, and I didn't mean that we shouldn't be happy about things, but I'm saying you have to go through a moment and say, yo, this is about to be tough. Like when I go to your gym and when I hear that 3, 2, 1, I know that the next 30 minutes is about to kick my ass.
It'll be hard.
But
right?
But
at the end of it, I feel so good.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I'm telling you. Those 30 minutes that I'm talking about could be 3, 4, 5 years of focused, undivided attention. If Tyler Perry let me clean his toilets, I'll be a billionaire. I'm a billionaire.
Right. I mean, it's wisdom speaking though. You know what I mean? So, we like begin with the end in mind, the end game. So you already know you're going in there to actually be a sponge and to get all that stuff. But some people just, they're not with that. They're not going to do that because it's not wisdom speaking. People are like literally on some other type of time. So, it's just where you are in life, man.
Gotcha. Now you have partners. Was that strategic or was that?
In the beginning, I used to think about not having partners, and through life and through my 12 other businesses that have failed me throughout the life, just not failed, but they didn't work out the way that I expected them to, and which were failures, but the lessons were huge. Right. I realized that partners are more important in the business because I rather have half of a watermelon than all of a grape. Right?
Yes.
And so that's where I'm at in life. And so I find people who are better at me than the things that I'm lacking in. Yeah. And I seek those partnerships and will gladly. There's businesses that I'm involved in that I don't even see the books, but I can request them and look at them, but I'm cool with looking at a dashboard.
Right.
And I play my part. Yeah. These guys play their part, and we win.
And you win.
And I'm that comfortable now in partnerships because in the day-to-day, in the flight school, I'm not in this flight school day-to-day.
Yeah. Right. I hate when people say,
wait, I own a flight school and I'm not even a certified flight instructor.
Now that's wisdom. That's vision. Right. I hate when people say, when they say, I'm the only person that can do this. I don't trust anybody doing this.
You'll never sell that. Huh? You'll never sell that joint.
Not only will you never sell it, you actually believe that. You actually believe you're the only person on earth that can do the thing that you're doing right now. Like that's a whole nother problem in itself.
Yeah.
Creating this gym, cause you started in the garage, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Or you started before then?
Well, I actually started in jail, but
okay.
Go ahead.
Speak on it. Speak on starting just from the start up until to where you are now. Like,
why'd you start that joint? Like, what was that?
Like, why'd you start it in jail?
So came with a problem. Problem was I lost weight before I went to jail. I gained a whole bunch of weight and I lost like 70 pounds in 6 months. And I just realized that 1, I had a problem, and 2, that other people would want to do the same thing that I did, like lose some weight.
You solved your own problem first.
Yeah, I said solve my problem first. And then I said, if other people are going to want to do this, then I probably need to know what I'm talking about. So I started to kind of study that stuff when I went to jail. And
study what stuff? Fitness and...
Yeah, well, I started off jumping into fitness, and then I was also trying to save myself at the time from just, just trying to become a better person.
Good.
So I read a lot of self-help books. I did a lot of, just health and wellness, spirituality. I just did.
That's why you like bump a therapist, because I
literally
I had to go through all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's dope. You know what I mean? The way it happened, but I had to go through all that stuff and be my own therapist.
So did you like people pay you to train them in jail?
Yeah, I had a couple of like paid people and stuff like that, but it wasn't even about the ones that paid me. It was about the brothers on the yard that, either wanted to work out with me or allow, me to kind of just guide them, or we like at one point we have 25 guys like working out at one time. Kind of the same way we do at the gym, just group stuff. Right. But I would literally be kind of saying, yo, we're going to do this today.
And some of them be the biggest, baddest dudes in there, but they listening to you right now.
That's why I said it started. That's why I said it started in jail.
The influence that you had in jail that's pretty phenomenal.
Right. So, I say it all the time.
I don't have to do this. I'm locked down for however long. Like,
yes, I've always been influential in my demographic. And I don't always have to say that I've been a leader, but I've just been influential in my demographic. And it's
I disagree
through
with you again, real quick.
Yeah.
That's all leadership is influence.
Without question, but it's through the example. Yeah. So leadership is actually the example. And some people follow my lead because they see certain things that they agree with. Gotcha. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, that could be my waves at the time. I used to have people be like, damn, the nigga spinning. Yeah, a little light up top though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Could be my physique. Yeah. You know what I mean? It could be the fact that somebody might have saw my photo album.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, like, because I actually did some things on the street before I went to jail. So, what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I'm not, one of these cats out here that be tricking off and messing up and everything now, because, you actually had some experiences and stuff. A lot of these people got new money. They never had no girls, stuff like that.
Did all that. Mess all that stuff. Yeah. Been had courtside.
So my whole thing was like, I've been doing that. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of do that stuff now when I got a mission. I'm on a mission. But anyway, just my whole thing was about, adding value, building value with people and stuff like that. So I would actually maybe teach people how to, eat off the commissary and things like that, what to order. What to order on commissary, so they would have the best chances at turning stuff around.
Nutritional coach in prison.
Yeah, but I studied lifestyle and weight management and stuff like that. And I got
you took classes, like real classes. Real study, like real.
So it's called correspondence courses, and you buy the book and you still got to teach yourself. You know what I mean? But then there might be like one class in there where all y'all go for personal training, and there's a few chapters on nutrition or something like that. But if you wanted to dive deeper, you had to get something concentrated in that or whatever.
So at the end of the day, you had a problem.
Yeah, I had a problem.
And you solved your own problem and realized other people probably go through the same thing, and I can multiply this.
Then I practiced on people who had a problem listening to people and following instructions and authority. And if I could get people who didn't listen to people, who didn't follow authority, or didn't have respect for authority and stuff like that, then it would be a cakewalk to come out here to kind of and get whoever.
If I can crack the hardest nuts, I can. If I can make it in New York, I can make it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Wow. So, then, proving a few theories and things like that, and then coming out here to see if I could actually kind of make a living doing it. Cause, in there, it was kind of giggles because you got 3 hots in a cot. So if everything is taken care of, you can actually be creative and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm not really in survival mode like that because, I got food, I got, shelter, and I got clothing. So, now I get out here and you got bills and you know what I'm saying? And you ain't really making no money. So
now you got to prove that theory to yourself.
I got to prove this, that I could actually still be, you got to believe in the person that you've become more than the person that you were. And that's why a lot of people go backwards to the old them, because they believe in the old them more in the person that they're becoming or the person that they want to be.
Cap, because they don't believe that they can go.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep. Wow. So, I just, felt like, not knowing anybody when I moved here except for my wife, I had to get my name out there. I had to build the brand, so to speak, if you're watching business. And I wanted to.
So how did you go about building the brand?
I thought name, brand, and face recognition all the time. Step one was simply me talking to meeting 3 new people every day and building value. So one of those 3 people would be somebody like Adrian. When he used to work out there, he had a trainer. It didn't matter. I would walk up to him, ask him what his name was, strike up a conversation, give him an exercise or 2 or 3 or routine.
I remember you said that, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it would be some of the best.
They would be working with another trainer.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yo, you need to incorporate this. Yeah. And they'd do it and be like, yeah, that was dope.
Wow. Yeah. But the next time I didn't just learn 3 names this day and forget those 3 people. Like I would have to come back and ask Adrian how his son was and how his wife was or ex-wife or whatever it was and stuff like that. Right. And all that became to me just creating a whole bunch of value within, that space and place that I was in right there. And that became, me selling my AWOL shirts in the locker room and stuff like that. And the manager,
you were hustling the AWOL shirts in the locker room.
So I created something super huge that was like, I did it kind of outside of there, but when it was time for me to work out, I would throw on my AWOL shirt, do my thing and stuff like that. But the manager used to come and ask us, man, what's this AWOL stuff we seeing all around and stuff like that? So we knew he was like, word, straight face too. But anyway, just building that brand name and face recognition got so big that I started doing like boot camps outside of the gym on the weekend. We had so much value built up with just with people that we were like working out with, stuff like that, that my wife got the annex gym at one of the middle schools for, just like on GP. They just gave us the keys and that's where we were running our weekend boot camp out of. And I actually had created auto draft and punch cards and stuff like that for the people that were coming through because there was so many people. Wow. And, we had so many people on the weekends that it gave us enough confidence to go ahead and get a building. And the things that we were doing.
Was that a gift? Did you have to pay for it, or they just like, here, use this on the weekends?
No,
the gym.
I didn't have to pay for it.
Gym.
Yeah, okay. It was literally like my principle is build value.
Man, listen. The other thing is people always say, "Well, I need money to go do this."
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do it.
Right. I don't have money. I don't have da da da. I don't have da da da. And in that case, right there, you didn't need money. You needed somebody that had the resource that you needed.
Yeah,
a lot of times you
had to add value to the person who had the resource that you needed.
Correct,
right?
Yeah, and that's why all my stuff starts with.
But you didn't need money to get this gym.
Nah, you just needed.
Money is the lowest exchange of value you can do between people. Mm-hmm. It is the lowest exchange of value you can do to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I think if you, this sounds corny and cliche, but if you can kind of remember, corny culture, that your purpose is always about the people, then that you could serve your way to the top. And gotcha. I know you understand, what I'm saying, would serve your way to the top. But I literally took those same principles and it just kept growing. The people kept growing from the service that I was given. So once I realized that I couldn't keep trading my time for money because it was too valuable, I literally just said, I got to put a couple people, together. And, it went from personal training to small group to big groups and stuff like that. And that's how it kind of grew. But I would deliver that same service, which was something that was missing in the actual community or their life.
Right.
And that's what built the value.
So it's value.
It's value.
Value was your currency to get that thing off the
value. Yeah. Value was my currency.
So now I want to ask you about the new venture, right? About the energy drink.
Yeah.
And something that struck me in the conversation we had with the guy you introduced me to at the gym, you were like, yo, we getting ready to go hit 100 stores.
Yeah.
Like
I did 47 in 3 days.
Wow.
47 placements.
Yeah. 47 stores in 3 days. And I talked to you a couple of days ago. I'm like, yo, I'm about to do 100 this week.
Yeah, about to do 100 stores this week. Like that's brand new, in the mud, hustling. Yeah. Like you just started over.
Yeah, well, you remember I told y'all before that all skills are transferable?
Right.
Like literally, you guys, instill principles in me about the exit, the end game. I got with some new cats that already have the exit plan or the end game or that understand it and know that these 2 years is going to be what we about to get down and dirty, down and fight to round 30. Our round 30 is 2 years from now, which is, I sent y'all the article about Celsius, 550 million cash from Pepsi gave them 550 million cash for 8.5% of their company. These guys kept 91.5% of their company and got 550 million, right?
Cash.
So literally, that was the playbook. Like literally, they just did it. And I don't even know how old Celsius is. They can't be more than 5 years old. You know what I'm saying? But we literally just said, so with the gym, I got the same plan for the gym, right. But I got with some people that could actually, the exit is bigger, you know what I mean? And they understand it. So instead of me trying to convince everybody at the gym, yo, we got to do this for 2 years, the fast way to top, y'all already said it, partnership, right? Merger or acquisition. Yeah. And that's what we were working out. We partnering up, right? And merging so that we can go ahead and dump this and somebody can acquire it.
And I just wanted just to bring out the fact that, man, y'all hustle. The grind is like, we're going to hit 100 stores.
Which you have to.
You have to.
Because he knows what it's worth at the end. He knows he has a goal in mind. He's got 2 years to get to this where he can exit.
I want people to get the spirit of that effort.
No, they got to get the spirit of their former life. The skills that are transferable. The developmental seasons came when I was down. You understand what I'm saying? So when I sold drugs, I'm talking about just started. I was hand to hand. I would actually spend all day and all night outside. I used to break day. So this is what I would do. I'm talking about I spend a whole week like pulling all-nighters. And then I might go home and go to sleep for 2 or 3 days straight. And then I spend 5 more days, all day, all night out there. When everybody else went to sleep, I'd still be out there. So all I did was revert back to the skills that I cultivated during them rough, tough times. Yo, it might be 2, 3 days that I didn't take a shower, but I had an objective and I was stacking work. I ain't doing nothing but stacking pallets and cans and right now. It's the same thing, but I'm beating the streets. I'm on the block. I'm out there hand to hand.
Nobody gonna ever be looking for you.
Ain't nobody looking for you.
They don't even see us coming. They don't even see us coming. But it's dope because you network and you beating people and you adding value. So the joint is actually like it's a better for you thing. So I'm still standing on adding value.
Man, and you know what? So when you started doing this, I think you asked me one time.
That's it right here.
That's it. That's it. R7.
That's the R7
energy.
That's it.
You asked me. You asked me, yo, you know anybody?
Yeah. And he said, let me think about it.
So let me think about it. Because at the time I was like, how do I know?
I don't know nobody.
But then, man, like when I put some intention to it, it was like, oh yeah, I know this guy. I know this guy who owns a convenience store. Oh, by the way, I know this guy. I know this guy who has access to the horse.
That person was telling you, I know a guy, and that know a guy.
Exactly.
And it'd be that
I got
easy.
a hack.
What's the hack?
Yeah.
So I was on, I'll be looking for businesses to buy all the time. There's a gas station somewhere between Greensboro, I think it might be Colfax. Is that somewhere around there?
Okay. Yeah.
Dude wanted like 30, 40,000. He don't own the building, right? We could buy the grocery store, run it. Who cares if it makes a profit, let it break even? Stack the shelves with R7.
Wow.
Let's go.
Almost 30, 40,000 for the grocery store?
Yeah. I have to send you the joint.
Yeah, send that one. That's crazy.
Right. It's got a gas station too.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a gas station, not a grocery store, but
okay.
But they come through.
Convenience store. Yeah, got the whole convenience.
Like a little bodega.
It's like an Exxon joint.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's a fire sale.
They said it was he lives too far and he wants to drive kind of away.
That's a fire sale.
Yeah, fire sale.
Look at that.
Let's go.
So real quick, I got out of software as a service business, and I got into trucking. And why?
Well, we found out why today.
You peaked my game. I peaked my game. So I looked at a bunch of different industries, and this whole trucking industry, I looked up and down the vertical. First, it's old, it's antiquated. The truck drivers aren't treated well at all. And so I'm like, man, I think there's some opportunity here. And then when I found out the multiples for trucking companies were double figures, it was like, okay. First thing I did was I got to go find somebody that knows this industry because I don't know the industry. And all I knew was I was going to buy a truck, right? And so I went to my guy and I said, who's been in the industry for 25 years. And I said, all I want you to do is to help me find a truck because I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know if it's a good truck, a bad truck. And so he said, okay, I'll help you do that. I didn't ask him to join the company. I didn't ask him to partner with me or anything. All I did was, he says, well, his first question, why you want to do that? He tried to talk me out of it. Yeah. I said, well, I think I can make a run at this thing, right? And so then he helped me find a truck in Paducah, Kentucky. You know where Paducah?
No,
never heard of Paducah, Kentucky. And then when I put my intention towards, buying a truck and then having a trucking company, people just start falling into place, right? And it's that whole law of attraction. I end up, when we flew to Paducah to get the truck, I sat next to the head of retail sales for Mack trucks.
It's crazy.
I never talked to people on a flight. I had headphones on. I'm leaning back.
It's crazy.
And so this was in, height of, you had to wear a mask. And dude said, he tapped me and said, can I go to the bathroom? Yeah. He gets up and he leaves. Yeah. And when he comes back, he sits down. I just kind of glance and he has on a Mack mask. Yeah. I'm like, is that Mack trucks? He was like, yeah. And then I was like, dude, I'm on my way to I'm headed to Kentucky to get a truck. He said, you going to Paducah? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, how you know?
How you know?
It's like a hub, right? In Paducah, Kentucky, go figure. And so I just picked his brain. He said, yeah, this makes sense for you right now. Absolutely. Yeah. So I just picked his brain. And so he was confirmation to go do this.
Random.
And so I was telling
at the moment of commitment, the universe will conspire to assist you.
That's good.
Go ahead.
That's a bar. And so the guy that was helping me find the truck, I just kept telling him about my plan, my vision. And so we get this truck in Paducah, Kentucky. I'd never ridden in a semi. We drive it back to North Carolina. Yeah. I wanted to be in the truck.
I love this story.
I wanted to wash it. I wanted to go in the truck stops. Yeah, I wanted to go and see what the showers look like. I wanted to do all of that.
Just sold his company for a grip, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm in this truck, right? And so we're coming back. I'm trying not to fall asleep because I want to experience all 10 hours of this, right? Absolutely. And so we get back and my car was at the airport in Greensboro. And so and the whole time, I'm just telling him, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. I never asked him to join me or anything. And so we get to Greensboro. And he says, you know what? Nobody else is going to drive this truck but me.
That's dope. Yeah.
I'm like, huh? Yeah. What? He said, yeah.
At the moment of commitment.
Nobody else.
There you go.
Say that?
The universe will conspire to assist you.
He said, nobody. And so now I have you
got a driver.
I got not only a driver, but I have years of knowledge and not just how the truck works, but understanding the business from a trucker's perspective.
Nice.
That just fell in my lap.
Yeah.
And then I tried to talk him out of it because I knew it was a major commitment, for him and his family. Uh-huh. And you're trusting me who knows nothing about trucking, a little bit about business to, partner up. And so he did. A little bit. And then we've been running ever since.
Super Bowl champion.
But and because of this podcast and because of you guys, like I said, man, we're about to add to the next part of the vertical, next part of the plan to go crazy.
I got an idea what it might be, but we'll talk about it offline.
Yeah. Absolutely. So so I wanted to make sure that we talk about, because that's it. And again, I don't expect anybody's going to go start a trucking company because of, this part of the conversation, but hopefully you can, some of the gems were, it had an idea, solved major problems, added a whole bunch of value, got people that knew as much or more about the industry to partner with, because 1 + 1 + 1 = 7 a lot of times. You were intentional about, going to do that thing. So hopefully that helps some people that are thinking about starting a business or,
it would be dope
in business.
I know we've got a lot of things on our plate. We got to get this book out. We got a meeting coming up soon about that. But if we started a business, us three, something could be small, and exit it within 2 years, so and just document it.
I didn't mention this to you guys, but what I wanted to do was, and I'll go ahead and throw it out here now live because we're real, we're raw, we're relatable,
and we get results
because we talk about the law of intention. We talk about adding value. We talk about all of that, right? What if we said, this is where the Endgame podcast is going to be in X amount of time, 2 years, 3 years, whatever the time is. Yeah. And then we manifest all of that stuff that we say. We come back with a plan and say, okay, here's a plan and a high level plan, because, people will be jacking it and everybody doesn't love us. We found that out, Max. I think Max, you got haters, and now you're going to bring.
I got perceived value.
Yeah, you got perceived value. And then
you're
going to bring your haters into our universe. But what if we said,
they want to know what happens when Max got to go to the bathroom on his plane? I'll be reading the comments.
Are you serious?
I ain't that big yet to not read the comments, so I'll be reading the comments. But go ahead.
Somebody said, "What did you do?"
Go ahead. Man.
No,
somebody said,
you just messed me up with that one.
Somebody said about how, what does he do when he got to
pull over?
bathroom?
Cloud9's a real place.
Wow. So what if we said, what if we What if we plugged into this manifestation thing when it comes to the Endgame podcast and lay out a plan at some point, and maybe that could be a part of the book. I don't know, but I was thinking the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Because we're this thing has momentum already and it's early, and we're coming for the folks that are on the top, and I have some favorite podcasts that I look at now as they're trying to impress me, but it's like, wow, they're impressing upon me that I can be that, that we can go be that. And so if we kind of threw something up, a challenge to prove that this stuff is real, because I was having that conversation with someone about the law of attraction, and they were just like, well, no, because you had this advantage, and I'm saying no. As a matter of, well, anyway, in the middle of the conversation, something happened that I showed them, that I said, this is exactly what I'm talking about, and they were like, so I can go do this, and then this will happen. I'm like, yeah, you can. So I think we should prove it, right?
Again.
And again, because we've already proved it several times. So I'll just throw that out. But
so you want us to come up with a plan for
the end game,
for the
exit.
End game, and exit or two, three, whatever,
or a milestone,
or some milestones. Right. So we've been talking about a book. The book's gonna happen because we already put it out there, right? We already put it out there in the universe. We already talked about it, so the book's gonna happen. So what else? What are the other things that will manifest as a result of the Endgame podcast?
Number one, nothing short of number one, right?
Right.
And what genre are we in? Entrepreneurship, business, or something like that?
I think we're business.
It's about something like that. But number one,
right? Period.
Got to be.
Yeah.
You
Two is the first loser, right?
Wait, what else? Yeah, what else?
I don't know. Can we create them right now?
Come on, think about it.
Yeah, we
think about it.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to have to like I said, the proof is in the pudding. Like, so why not? If the stuff that we're talking about, not only,
we show them what it look like real time from scratch.
From scratch, absolutely.
Yeah, straight
and we've
like
seen the things happen. We're sitting in a studio that was manifested from this guy's vision, and so, but to show, because this is considered, I guess, the bottom of where we are right now in the podcast world. So because we're only this is 5 episodes.
Why you think it's challenge?
Oh no, we ain't the bottom, because last week we was at 242 and now we at 177 or something like that. So we jumping up 70 spots. We jump up another 70 spots. We'll crack the 100 next week.
Let's go.
So they need to what they need to do with the ratings so we can get up there. Tell them how to do that joint.
This was another dope one. A lot of gems in it.
Love it.
I hope you guys always watch it. And people that watch, I appreciate you. Take notes, man, because it's a lot of, I'm learning from these conversations ourselves. Yeah. But you know what it is. This is the Endgame podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, press the like, share this video with a friend through text message. Yeah. Just like a personal, I think you should watch this. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people have been doing.
We do need them on Apple though. Don't we need them to do something on Apple?
Yeah. And right now, if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast, please give us a 5-star rating and leave a review. Like literally like, this was dope, period.
Yeah.
Something like that. We greatly appreciate it. Costs you nothing.
And Max, what if they watch on YouTube but go to Apple anyway and give us a rating?
Go over there. Wherever you listen, wherever you at, just go give us a rating, because we want to let people and Apple know and Spotify know and all these places that you guys are listening and watching on there. So
shout out to Turkey. Like we rolling to Turkey, man. Shout out to Turkey.
What, number 8 in Turkey?
I
don't know how many podcasts have come out of Turkey.
I don't know, bro.
How many's in the rating?
Shout out to Turkey. Y'all making me feel like something. You feel me?
All right. And real quick before we shut it down, how you guys feeling?
Man, I'm bouncing on all cylinders, man. Family is good, man. Okay. Wife's in great spirits. My baby's just doing amazing things. Right. It's dope watching her grow up and stuff like that. And then, my 2 oldest girls are like really like they killing it and doing some great things, man. My middle daughter, Trinity, who's at Spelman, is just started like really taking her makeup stuff serious. So I'm super proud of her. And
that's what I wanted to talk to. But
my oldest daughter, Khadijah, prayers out to her. She got literally she worked for a bank. Somebody robbed the bank and they actually put the gun to her. Wow. And so she's out of work right now, but she's actually, like getting her mind off that stuff by pursuing her passion. Nice. And, she's doing some dope stuff, man. And shout out to Khadijah. Yeah, everybody's rocking right now. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
V12. Since you want to go with cylinders, I'm V12. I'm good. Coach Lynch said I should say 8 because of these minor things. So I'm V12 right now.
We had a conversation about that.
I'm V12.
I love that.
Everything's clicking.
Everything's
clicking, man.
You guys are dope, man.
I'm having fun.
How
about you, bro?
How you feeling, man?
I'm good.
Come on, man. You know I don't like that.
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm on top of the world.
Out.
We're rolling right
So
now.
you don't care nothing about
what is
good. You in there? You in there?
I'm in there, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the cut, yeah. Golf swing is good. And
golf swing.
I need to work on that.
What, the golf swing?
You gotta help me with that.
You don't want me to.
Yo, bro. Don't worry about it though, because the stuff that we doing when you come up the highway, like that's gonna have everything going a little better right now. I like doing your thing, man. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate
right?
it. You too.
And the homies back. Yo, y'all making me feel real good, man.
Oh yeah, you back. I gotta get up there this week. Well, look, man, I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. This is the Endgame podcast, and I'm your man, Max Waxwell.
I'm Rod Brown.
I'm Lynch Hunt.
And we out.
Yeah, real relatable.
And results.
Hey, can't forget it.